All right, the first episode of this series was a disaster. I guess I was having a little bit of a nervous breakdown. Let's move on. I want to update you with Ruth. Yesterday, I gave her insurer,
Yeah.
and she started spitting up.
Yes.
I don't call it throwing up. I call it, it's kind of like when an infant spits up. But she couldn't keep any insured down. So, I tried, I waited till later in the day, and it's still no good. Okay, I was hoping today would be better. So far, it's a little better. This morning, I got her to take maybe half of an Ensure, and she kept it down. Let's see, this is probably 8 hours later, and I've given her about a half of an Ensure, and so far she's kept that down. The reason I stopped there is because she started acting like she was going to start spitting up again. So I eased up on it. So, like I say, it's like with a baby. So what I've been doing is I'll give her a little bit of Ensure, then I'll roll her on her side and I'll pat on her back. I may have to start forcing, well, not forcing, but putting her in a chair and making her sit at the table. I don't know. I don't really think that'll help it, but possibly. I just don't like to make her do something she doesn't want to do. You know what I mean? If I was in her position, I wouldn't want anybody telling me what to do. So that's what I try to go with. But anyway, I roll her on her back and I pat her on her back like an infant or something, and it does seem to help. Now she even asked me to pat her back, so that's good, I guess. I want to talk about keeping your loved ones in your home rather than putting them in an institution. When I was a kid, everywhere you went, families were taking care of a grandfather, grandmother, sometimes both. And yeah, it's a lot of work, and it's difficult, and it's hard to do, but it's a lot better than putting them in a home. I mean, look at all this stuff I'm going through with Ruth trying to feed her now. The nurses at a home, they don't have time to spend all that time getting her to eat. And, just messing around, waiting, giving her a little bit of Ensure, and then waiting, and then giving her a little more. They're not going to do that. I mean, and of course there is some cases of abuse in there, and I don't know, when I've been in there, it seemed to me like people that don't have relatives there, they get kind of ignored sometimes, It's not the best way to go, And I know for some people it's totally impossible. You're going to have to do something like that, but if there's any way you can avoid it, I would say avoid it and put it off as long as you can. I just don't think they give the level of care in there that your loved one deserves. So, Ruth, when she got to where she couldn't walk, I would hold her up like we were dancing, and I would walk her to the bathroom. We did that for years, and I really believe that that's extended her life because it was more exercise and more moving around. If I'd have let her lay in bed all those years, she'd have deteriorated more than what she did. So, you're always going to take better care of your loved one than some stranger. Now, a lot of those people are very nice and very helpful, and they have empathy, and there are a lot of great people. But
yeah, you take a nap, and
yeah, there's some assholes
bring you another
too.
drink.
So
okay,
you got to be careful.
All right, darling.
At this point in time, Ruth is on hospice, and that's something you might want to look into if you're trying to take care of somebody like this, because it's very helpful. I mean, it's not a panacea, but it's very helpful. They'll come and give her a bed bath. On Fridays, I get her out of, because she can't do anything, you know. So I lift her out of bed, take her in the bathroom, and I put her in the shower chair, and then the hospice lady gives her a bath. Sarah, very nice
Oh,
lady,
you're gonna wash my
gives
clothes?
her a bath, and it's
Okay.
great, you know. And when she comes out of there, she
thank
sits
you,
at the
darling.
table a little bit, you know, and usually she'll drink her Ensure. She usually won't eat. If she does, it's just a bite or two, and that's it. When she first had the strokes, she had normal eating habits, you know.
Is that oatmeal pie
And,
good? Yeah.
Over time, she got a little more finicky. She would only eat certain things. And then as more time went by, and she got to where she was eating these sandwiches from Steak and Shake. They were like they were basically a cheeseburger with a lot of cheese, and then they would fry it like a griddle cheese. It was very good. I used to eat them too. They were good. So she loved those, so she would eat those. And then she got to where, well, they quit making those. And when she got to where she wouldn't eat any kind of hamburger or anything like that, you know. And at one point she got to where she only wanted sweet potatoes. And I would make sweet potatoes for her. And I would take hamburger and I would grind it up in tiny, tiny pieces with my fingers. And I would put it in because she wouldn't eat any meat at that time. And so that was good, you know. But then she got to where she wouldn't eat that anymore. And then she would eat
Okay.
watermelon,
No more?
you know. And I would feed her watermelon. And then when the watermelon season went out, I was very upset about it. There was nothing I could do. And so then the next season come around, and I couldn't wait to get her watermelon. And when I did, she wouldn't eat it. So now she won't eat it. Well, and just like yesterday, I tried to give her some little bites of food, and she swallowed them, and then they come right back up. So I don't know. It's a bad situation, you know.